Welcome to this session of WinLossWeek, the world's largest online event dedicated to win-loss analysis. My name is Braydon Anderson, and this event is hosted by Clozd in partnership with the Pragmatic Institute, Product Marketing Alliance, Modern Sales Pros, and the Competitive Marketing Summit. The title of this session is Garnering Broad Support for an Outsourced Win-Loss Program. Today we're joined by JJ Haglund and Adrienne Whitten. JJ earned his MBA from UCLA Anderson School of Management in 2015 and has been doing product marketing and competitive intelligence at Adobe ever since. He founded Adobe's Competitive Center of Excellence in 2018, where he ran the win-loss program for Adobe Experience Cloud. Adrienne is the Director of Enterprise Product Marketing at Adobe, where she helps drive thought leadership, innovation, and the go-to-market strategy in the Enterprise Digital Experience Cloud, specifically focusing on digital transformation and demand marketing and Marketo Engage. Thank you both for being here today. We're excited to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks, Brendan. Great to be here.
Appreciate it.
So I think just to start off, I think it'd be helpful for the audience to understand, why did Adobe start doing win-loss analysis in the first place?
Sure. So I'll take that one. Since Adobe started doing win-loss analysis before Marketo was acquired, and then Adrienne can give her perspective from a Marketo point of view. But like you said, I've been with Adobe for about 5 years now. And initially I was on the product marketing team for the Adobe Experience Cloud, which is like the umbrella brand for all of our digital marketing and CX applications. And so before I took ownership of the win-loss program, each team within the Experience Cloud did some of its own win-loss research. And sometimes that was, on their own, or they would hire a third party to do some of that research. But it was never really done programmatically. It was always ad hoc, sort of one-off, and not usually done on like an ongoing basis. When Marketo came on, that was one of the notable exceptions because they actually had a great program in place when Adobe acquired them. But anyway, as the business evolved, more and more customers started buying multiple applications within the Experience Cloud suite. And we knew that there was a need to create sort of an ongoing win-loss program that coordinated with all of the applications. So for me, the start of the win-loss journey was really about getting buy-in from those product marketing teams to consolidate the work that they had done and sort of centralize and create this sort of standardized win-loss program. So that was why we started. It was sort of just the business evolving, products coming together, and centralizing our efforts.
Yeah, and I'm curious, Adrienne, from your perspective, because you were at Marketo when you guys started the win-loss program before the merger of Adobe Marketo. Is it a similar story to you, or what happened there?
Yeah, it actually is a surprisingly similar story, and it might have even been the same time frame happening. I came in, as you said, to the Adobe through the acquisition of Marketo, and I started in Marketo in 2016. And prior to that, I had actually run win-loss programs at 3 other companies. And
Wow.
So when I came to Marketo, there was not really, got very similar to what JJ said, there wasn't really a formal program. There was sort of an informal, more ad hoc program of the product marketing team should, get on the phone with customers and interview them whenever they had time. And so because I had programs in the past, I was like, you know what? Product marketers never have time. This is a terrible idea.
Very
and
true.
you can, right? That is really the reality. Product marketers do a lot of things and are super busy, and it's just really hard to programmatically and systematically get enough interviews that you're getting good data. So I advocated to bring a program into Marketo along with a few other folks, and that's when the program started, which was in fact before we got acquired.
Yeah. And so I'm curious then, at what point of this, decision to start doing win-loss, did you realize that it needed to be done with a third party? Like, did you think that it should be done in-house?
Yeah, I don't know, JJ, I know you and I have different thoughts on that too. I know because when I first started, my very first time I ran a win-loss program at another company, I actually did, we tried to do it in-house, and again, we didn't have enough bandwidth and we didn't have enough interviews. I then moved to an individual contractor, which I think is what a lot of folks probably do, and that was better. but it also had the same kind of limitations. We just weren't able to scale the program. And so when I came into Marketo, there was no question in my mind that you needed a third party to do it. And so that's where I started advocating instantly for the budget to get a third party.
Yeah, I'd actually say that we're pretty aligned there as well. I think it's a question of one, bandwidth, and two, scale, like you said. For us, we have 8 different product marketing teams within Adobe Experience Cloud, and those teams are pretty lean. And each one of those teams has one person that's sort of the point person for competitive intelligence, but it's not their full-time job, right? On average, I'd say like 10 to 20% of their job is dedicated to competitive intelligence. And then WinLoss is sort of a subset of that. So we really like the idea of a third party handling all the logistics of the program, right? The customer outreach, the scheduling, the interviewing, all those things that are very time intensive. But then as we started to scale, right, we realized that, like Adrienne said, you definitely need that third party because we started out with a pretty small program just to test things out and grew it, to the point where we're doing between 100 and 200 interviews a year.
Wow.
And there's no way that we would have the scale to do that with just in-house resources. Yeah.
So especially at that size, like I'm curious, did you think that the cost for using a third party was justified then? And like, was it a challenge to get buy-in for this cost?
Yeah, definitely is a challenge. And that's part of the reason why we started small, right? Eventually it became one of our biggest budget items, but we definitely couldn't have gone from 0 to that just overnight. So what we did is we started just really small with our own internal data to see, what kind of things can we pull from our CRM, identify who the top competitors are, how often were we winning or losing, and that sort of created this appetite for more information. Oh, this is great data, but now I need some more. I need to know why we're losing and why we're winning to these specific competitors. So initially we could work with sales and kind of get their point of view on why we were winning and losing.